Moon in the ninth house, emotional horizons. Welcome to Moon in the ninth house in synastry. The ninth house governs belief systems, higher learning, philosophy, long-distance travel, foreign cultures, and the search for meaning, the impulse toward expansion, toward moving beyond the known and reaching for a larger understanding of what life is and what it is for. Moon in the ninth has a quality that is genuinely distinctive. It is the overlay of emotional expansion, of a relationship that makes both people's inner worlds feel larger, more adventurous, and more meaningfully connected to something beyond the immediate and the personal. The moon person feels an emotional resonance with the house person's vision of the world, their philosophical orientation, their sense of meaning, their relationship to belief, their adventurousness of spirit. The moon person is not merely drawn to who the house person is. They are drawn to where the house person is going, to what they are looking for, to the way they hold the larger questions of existence. There is an emotional quality to the intellectual and spiritual exchange between these two people that distinguishes it from ordinary intellectual companionship. For the house person, the moon person's presence feels emotionally supportive in the specific context of their search for meaning. The house person often feels that the moon person genuinely cares about what they are seeking, that their philosophical or spiritual journey is seen and valued rather than merely tolerated. Many people find that their pursuit of larger meaning is something they carry largely alone, even within their closest relationships. A relationship in which one's inner life of meaning is genuinely emotionally held is, for people with strong ninth house energy, a relationship of unusual value. There is often a strong element of shared exploration. Travel tends to feature, both literal and metaphorical. The two people may travel together and find that shared experience of foreign places creates a particular emotional bonding. They may pursue shared intellectual or spiritual interests with a warmth and engagement that goes beyond mere intellectual exchange. There is a sense that the relationship itself is an adventure, that being together opens horizons rather than closing them. This expansive quality is one of the overlay's most sustaining gifts in long-term relationships. Many partnerships gradually narrow over time as the shared world shrinks to the domestic and the familiar. Moon in the ninth tends to work against this contraction. The emotional pull of the connection is oriented toward openness, growth, and the continuing expansion of both people's understanding of the world. To the challenges, the most significant tension is between the ninth house's pull toward freedom and philosophical breadth, and the moon's deep need for emotional closeness and intimate personal exchange. The moon requires, at its core, a felt sense of belonging, of being held, known, and safe. The ninth house, by nature, moves outward toward the horizon. The house person may process emotional experience through philosophical or spiritual frameworks in ways that feel to the moon person like avoidance of genuine feeling. There can be a quality of intellectualizing that keeps the conversation at a certain elevation, meaningful and genuine, but not quite grounded in the personal and specific the way the moon person needs it to be. The moon person may sometimes introduce an emotional weight into contexts where the house person experiences the relationship primarily as a shared adventure. Making the need for personal intimacy explicit, rather than hoping it will be met organically, is part of the work of this placement. Moon in the ninth house synastry, at its fullest expression, is the overlay of those who expand each other, who make each other's worlds larger, braver, and more richly meaningful, who find, in the emotional bond of the relationship, not just comfort and belonging, but an ongoing invitation toward growth. Two people on the same journey, finding in the shared going a form of emotional home that neither could have found in stillness alone.
Thank you for listening. Next, we explore Moon in the 10th house.